Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be reviewing Carrion. Let's get started. Carrion, released July 23rd, 2020, developed by Phobia Games, published by Devolver Digital. It's got very positive reviews on Steam. I personally played it through my Xbox Game Pass. I had a ton of fun. The next 60 seconds, I'm going to do a quick breakdown on what I think of the game and whether you should buy it. Carrion was an awesome game. You play the bad guy, but it's really not that simple. You're just trying to escape. It's not your fault they created you. And honestly, the idea of playing the big, bad, scary, evil monster is done really well. The story's interesting. They even left it open for the potential of having a sequel in the future. I enjoyed the way the player character moved, and the puzzles were pretty great. None of them were too difficult, just hard enough to make me think or have to go back and forth a couple of times to figure out how to solve them. You really need to pay attention later in the game as the enemies get more abundant and more powerful, and if you don't, you're just going to be straight up killed. The story has just enough twists to keep you wondering what's going to happen, and then it all wraps up very well in the end. For $19.99 and only 5 hours of gameplay, I have a little bit of difficulty 100% recommending this game if it's not your type of game you like to play. The gameplay and the story makes up for it. There is replayability, and if you have Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate, you can play it for free on your PC or Xbox. Now, we're going to break the game down just a little bit more.
Anyway, come on. How long's he?
You start the game inside what looks like a little nuclear containment device. You break out, scientists lose their mind, and you escape. After a while, you come across a scientist or a guy who works there sitting on a toilet, and you do what any monster would do, you eat him. From there, the whole idea is to grow bigger, expand your biomass, find more skills, and escape. There's little areas you can squeeze into that work as checkpoints. Some of them actually unlock more of the map, and you're required to go into them. As you're going around, you squeeze into these areas, you set a checkpoint, and each area has a certain number of these that you have to find to unlock the next area. You do backtrack a lot, but it's well done backtracking. You don't have to go out of your way. You're just brought around in a circuitous route back to where you were before, with a new skill to get farther than you could. There's 3 sizes of biomass. You start out as the smallest, and then you get, after first skill, you gain a second level of biomass, and a little farther on you gain a 3rd level, and each level, each size is clearly marked on your health, and they all have their own associated skills. For puzzles, sometimes you have to deposit portions of your biomass to get through areas, or you have to shoot something through an area you can't get through using the smallest size biomass, so you have to go drop your biomass to come back to the area to activate the puzzle. It's all really well done. It's not difficult. Some of it's super obvious and some of it isn't. I had a couple areas I got a little lost in trying to figure out how to solve the puzzle, and that is what made the game worth playing in my opinion. Eventually you gain the ability to be able to take over a host's body, and what's really cool about this is that some of the enemies are in suits that you can't eat, but as long as the body's still laying on the ground, dead or alive, you can still take control of it and use it to do stuff.
Actually, I'm capable of distinguishing over 150 simultaneous compositions. The
music is well done. The ambience and sounds all fit together to give that horror game experience. Lighting is awesome. Some of it's dynamic, some of it's not. Sometimes you smash light bulbs as you go by. It's a really cool feature. The chains rattle when you run by them. You can slam into a piece of glass and freak the scientists out and they run away. You can eat the scientists, or you can just completely ignore them. Sometimes I would just kill them, leave the body there in case I needed it later. Eventually you get the ability to echolocate your save and checkpoint areas. They're called hive nests. You're the one who sets them there, or they're not created yet and you know that you can go there to create them. The characters are very well animated. I especially like how almost everything can be destroyed, and when it is, it leaves a little piece of itself around that you can carry with you or throw at enemies, and some of the objects can be used in ways that probably weren't completely intended by the developers, but are completely viable. I didn't really see anything wrong with the visuals or the music.
Check it out.
It's got wings.
The UI is simple, it shows you everything you need. Menus are simple as well. Nothing was misspelled, nothing was hard to find, nothing was hidden inside a menu, inside a menu, inside a menu. It's just on the main menu screen. Start, continue. There's a demo. I'm not entirely sure what the demo is. I just played the game. Player health is at the top. Current biomass is easy to tell based on the different colors of the different segments. When you eat enemies or people, you gain more biomass. You can go into little pools and deposit biomass. This is required for some of the puzzles. Sometimes you deposit biomass and you're not able to go back to it until later in the game. What's really cool is that if you lose biomass by getting shot or running into something, you can go back to what you previously deposited, reabsorb it, and refill your health. Skills are on each corner of the screen. They're clearly marked with what key activates them, and depending on the size of your creature, different skills are active or inactive. Each size has its own set of skills that's useful in different ways and for doing different things.
No matter what happens now, you're dead.
The gameplay is easy, however the combat can get a little bit difficult. Later on in the game, they start throwing bigger and more people at you. They start throwing walking machines that can kill you, flying machines that actually are really easy to take out, and then guys with shields that will just absolutely melt you if you run into them. The AI is pretty good at tracking you. If you can catch one unaware, get behind it and take it as a host, as long as you don't let the tendril that's controlling it be seen, the other enemies won't know that you're the one controlling that creature. You can get up to him and shoot him. A lot of times I would take over a guy with a flamethrower and just melt everybody in the room. That way I didn't have to go in there myself and risk getting shot. A couple of places I got stuck during the puzzles, had to look around. They're not always super obvious, but it was enjoyable and fun, and it wasn't so difficult that I couldn't finish it. For $20, the game is a little bit expensive for the length of the game. It only took me 4.5 hours for one complete playthrough, and I got about 50% of the secrets unlocked. I was just aiming to complete the game and get to the end to see what it was like before going back and finding all the secrets. I started playing it again from the beginning, and it was just as enjoyable, and I did things a little bit different the second time through. I think you could easily get 8 to 10 hours of gameplay out of this game. Again, it's still a little expensive, but I enjoyed myself immensely. It released only a couple of weeks ago. I don't see it going on sale anytime soon. Luckily, it is on Xbox Game Pass, so if you've got an Xbox or a PC, you have Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate, you can play it for free. That's personally how I played it. I can't recommend it enough. There's tons of games on there. Honestly, it made it easy for me to want to be able to play this game. Thanks for being here, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure that you smash that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. There's also a notification bell. You can catch me on Twitch. Links in the description. Thanks for being here, and until next time, keep playing, guys.